There's nobody else was. I wasn't asked to. I just did it.
That was nice.
I had it set up.
I don't envy the boys in the locker room. Douglas did very well, doesn't he?
John sits there and gets his spot. He's doing pretty good for a freshman. I think he's still got.
Oh, how come he didn't go out?
He doesn't go in for. He sits when he thinks about what he's going to say. Yeah.
Does he do the siege game usually?
Huh?
Does he do this usually each
Usually
game?
he sits and talks with the other coach. The varsity coach. I don't know why.
Can I give you gum or butterscotch or anything?
No, I've got. You like candy corns?
Wes does. No, thank you.
I got popcorn.
Yeah, there he goes.
Who, Wes?
Oh, done. So, did the girls or the boys play out of this?
Good.
I saw a lot of boys coming with suits on. That's what I wondered.
I think maybe. I thought it was girls and then maybe boys.
Well, you told me it was girls out of this. Do you know what time the girls' game is?
I thought they said 5:30. 5 to 5:30.
Oh.
Whatever this gets over.
Well, that should be another 45 minutes.
Well, then it will be 3. Then it will be 4:30. Yeah.
Anyway, I have some sad news. You know Mark Murphy. You know Susan's friend Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he hasn't been feeling good. I'll come up here. And I knew that I just found out last week he'd been throwing up some, but they thought he had a rib out of place, so they were going to a chiropractor. And then Susan said he had lost 5 pounds, but Mark told her the other day he had lost 15 pounds, and Wes saw him like last week and he said he looked very drawn. So she took him to Judy Shedd. You know, she's the osteopathic doctor that used to be in North Bridgeton. Now she has an office in her house in Cape Elizabeth or someplace, and she comes to the Methodist Church on Thursdays. So she took him Wednesday down to her office in Cape Elizabeth, South Portland, wherever it is. And she had asked me, because Mark is a veteran, if I would get the papers off the computer so he could get signed up because they have no health insurance. So I got the paperwork to her, and she hadn't got them filled out, so he hadn't gotten in the system yet. But the doctor said take him to Tovis. And on the way home, Mark wanted to go to that chiropractor in Conway, so she took him up and he did an adjustment. And this was Wednesday evening. I guess she cleans Shoma, so I don't know if that's where she went after they got home. And he felt a little better. So she said wherever she went and came back home, he was shaking like a leaf, freezing. So she put a hat on him and wrapped a blanket around him. Well, his chair is by the monitor heater, and I said, wasn't he by the heater? And she said, yes. So she gave him some hot chocolate to warm his innards, and that stayed down for a while. Then he threw up. He's been throwing up, and I don't know for how long. That's why he's lost so much weight. So Susan convinced him Thursday morning they had to go to Toga. He had to get seen by a medical doctor. So she took him up to Toga, and they got his paperwork processed. So she came home and called me about 8:30. She has excuse me. Cancer in the esophagus and liver. And they're not operable.
Do a thing.
So they admitted him yesterday. They sent him home that night, and then they went back up yesterday, and they were going to do a scope. So the doctor that said, I'd do the scope, but he said he wanted to have a stent put in that would open up the esophagus so Mark could eat. But there was no anesthesiologist there to do it. So it's scheduled for Monday, but in the meantime they convinced him he had to stay yesterday and get built up. Well, they put him in a hospice room, but the doctor said it's not hospice care because what we're doing is we're building you up for the procedure because you have lost so much weight and vitamins and minerals, so he's on feeding to intravenous. And if they do, Susan thinks the scope is still on for Monday, and I don't know. She's up there today, so we'll find out more. So when she left yesterday, I called her, and Ann Weeman went up with her, thank goodness, because Ann has had lots of cancers, and she knows what to ask, knows all the medical terms. Well, they said they didn't have him in hospice care. They had him to build him up. So she gets home last night and calls Mark to see how he's doing. Is he comfortable? And they said yesterday that they would read the biopsies and they would meet with the oncologist the end of this coming week. Well, the oncologist came in last night after Susan left and said both the inoperable, and I guess they talked about chemo, and they said it would be 1% chance it would help. And I'm like, how do you go from 0 to 100 so fast? I mean, we're all just blindsided. So I don't know what the rib was, why. That's what they've been thought it was, all this time was the rib. But I mean, I was trying to think the last time I saw him, and I don't know when it was, but Fryeburg Fair, he was doing well and feeling fine, and I think we went out to supper once since then, and he was fine. Well, I was sitting down there and I saw you here.
Oh, usually Amy sits over here, but
I saw she was keeping score.
Mark's got a game, I guess.
Mark is where?
Some game he's playing.
I see.
Well, it's not like we've lost, but...
What's that?
It's not like we've lost, but I hope this is come back. I think they've had a tough time
Well, they came close, though.
I think they've had a tough time against Freiburg a lot.
Well, just before the half, they got really close, and then they got like 3 baskets in a row to pull ahead. Douglas is tall. All these little boys are growing up, aren't they? So, where did you say Mark was?
Some basketball games. It was what Melissa told me.
Where's Matthew? Oh, it's just a game. Okay. I didn't know if he was watching a game.
Well, I don't do this.
So how do you know what you're up to? You probably recorded lots of games, right? You did all fall.